Hey guys, welcome back to the Porthole party. Out in the garage this time because a customer just dropped off a set earlier today. Now, while he was here, I tested the picture tube because this particular model uses the dreaded 16EP4 metal cone picture tube, which is particular to Zenith. The deflection angle is 70 degrees. Only they used it. The more common 16GP4 is 90 degrees. Anyways, the point is, if it was bad, I can't get a replacement. There are lots of other Porthole owners out there that need one, including myself. One of my sets, the one other set in this Porthole party you guys haven't seen yet. Anyways, I'll just jump right to it. It's good. It was replaced in '55 with a rebuilt CRT, and it took a little while to come up to life, but it's solid. And I put it under wraps until tonight, because what I want to do in this video, first off, is build a little dolly for it. I take some scrap 2x4s and some caster wheels and make a rolling platform to put it on. Right now it's underneath these moving blankets down here. I have one dolly, but it's being taken up by the RCA CTC5 next to it. So it's this guy right here. It's up on blocks right now. I don't be able to move it around so I can show it to you guys. So I have 4 of these guys. I figure with these and 4 2x4s and 8 deck screws, I should be able to make a dolly rather quickly. And I'll measure that so that the feet actually land stably on the platform. Let's get used to leftover 2x4s like this. And these casters, they just simply, you need to just bore a hole into it, and then these go right in, and then that's that. I think they're rated for 75 pounds a piece, so between the 4 of them, more than enough for that set. Nice to break out the old drill press. It's been a while. Wrap some electrical tape around these from a project I ended up not doing, so I gotta remove that. And then I should pop right in. There we go. Alrighty, there we go. Now I just gotta pick the set up and plop it down on top of that piece of cake. Alrighty, are you ready? A bit bigger than the other sets you've been seeing lately, the other Porthole sets. It has doors, which certainly adds to the weight. 16-inch set. And I wonder if they use the same cabinet for a 19-inch model, because it's got some extra width. Not that height, but it's a lot of space on the other side. So if this looks familiar to you, last year I did a very similar set that didn't have doors, but exactly the same knobs and control doors and grill cloth and bezel and everything. And it was also a 16EP4 and also a rebuild, but this is a little bit fancier. Look up the model name and model number in a bit. Mahogany cabinet, of course, everything was mahogany back then, just about. And it's in very, very nice condition. So I actually found this for the owner some time ago, years ago. I think I might have been living at my old place at the time, further towards downtown. And vicariously for a while, when I was kind of done collecting and run out of space, I'd find sets for other people. So I gave him a tip about this. I said, hey, this set's beautiful. Price is fair, go get it. And he did. And it's been sitting in a storage facility all this time, waiting for me to have time to work on it. That time is now. This should look familiar to you because the power supply is essentially the same. The back is the same as the other sets I've been working on. They're very similar. They're all slight variations on a theme. So I got the big old power transformer down here, shields, dual, probably 5U4s, and we have 3 caps. So this is a little bit older. This is rather similar to the blonde 12-inch that I've been working on, as opposed to the more recent Eldritch metal cone 16 GP4 set that I've been working on. This is kind of in between those two. So it's a 16-inch, but it's an older style CRT, and it's the older style design. And it has those same screws. Thanks for those of you that sent me tips on what these screws are called and where I can get them. This is missing about half of them. So that's what I meant about. It'd be nice to find a source for them because there's usually some missing. And when you see screws that are missing, that's a sure sign somebody's serviced it at some point. Maybe just tubes. We don't know. Or, I don't know yet. I did already test the picture tube, so I got that much. And I'll show you that in a moment, but I haven't looked underneath the chassis yet. I'm not going to pull out the chassis right now, but I'll leave the back off. So it will be soon. But coming up, before I start working on this, in less than 4 weeks is the early television convention, so I got to keep my focus on that. But I wanted to give you guys a taste of what's to come with this set. Plus, I'm curious to know what condition it's in and what am I in for. Sorry, not the greatest lighting. It's about 11 o'clock on a Friday night, right? I use the flashlight on my phone to help out a bit here. So, familiar metal Zenith back. This one's got a bit of a wooden reinforcement, I think, because it's so wide. And it's got that goofy polarized power connector. Particular to Zenith. And there we go. So, ginormous tuner on the right-hand side. This is the type that has the flyback up on top, barely shielded with just a little bit of bent perforated sheet metal around it, and it's just sitting right there. Later sets, as you'll see when we get to my set with the doors, they move that flyback underneath, and that's not a good thing. You'd much rather see this one, as we'll see when we get to that set. Now, the only issue I saw with this when we first opened it up is that this shield was just floating around inside, and it's got a ding on it. Now the set has the back, so it couldn't have happened with that back on, but at some point this thing got whacked. There should be 2 screws holding it down. It just busted loose. So, but the coil underneath looks okay, so hopefully that's good. You can see we've got some Zenith branded tubes. So it's got the dual horizontal output tubes. This is a Zenith BG6, just like my blonde set had, but that's a replacement. That's a Zenith branded tube. We got that nice cadmium sulfide greenish corrosion on it. And check out that CRT. It's red. If it's red or it's blue, that means it's a rebuild. We move this strap a little bit. See the label there, 16 EP4. There's a date on it. I think it says July 12, 1955. I'm not positive. It's a little fuzzy on that last digit. But yeah, it tested okay. The tester I used is kind of conservative. I haven't really calibrated or serviced it much as my B&K 440, but it was into the green. And in my experience with that tester, that never, even a really good CRT only gets a little bit into the green, doesn't get way into the green. So the fact that it was a little bit into the green, we're fine. We're fine. And we got all the knobs. I'm not seeing any issues with this whatsoever, so I think, fingers crossed, it'll be a straightforward project. We're actually a little bit nervous working on these versus other sets like a RCA, Admiral. I've got parts chassis, I've got spare parts. When it comes to these, I don't really. I have one parts chassis, but it's the newer kind, which doesn't have a power transformer, or it's the power transformers for the filament only. I think it's a hot. It's weird. It's really weird. And that's what my set with the doors is, which is the only Porthole set I own in many years of collecting and looking up until recently. So it's crazy how these things go in cycles. Yeah. Go from years and years and years and looking to find one set, and then bam, they all start showing up on your doorstep. Not that this is my set, but you know, working on them anyway. Same thing happened with Predictas. Took me 20 years to find a Predicta, and then Predictapalooza for 2 years. But yeah, here we go. Very, very pretty cabinet. Very, very good condition. The only problem really is a little bit of finish loss around the feet at the bottom, but we can take care of that. One nice thing that Zenith did on these sets with doors, mine has it too, is of course when you're watching it, you want the doors to be open, so you want to swing them around. A little bit annoying for collectors because you need a wide berth to swing this door all around, so you can't have a set right next to it unless you leave the doors open all the time. But they put these little bumpers here, so when the door is open, the handle, when it doesn't smack into the cabinet, it rests into that bumper. But yeah, check that out. So we won't have to be, we don't be doing any refinishing. Maybe just a little touch up. The bottom 1.5 inches down here. Otherwise, geez, I think this is good enough. We just Gojo and put some wax on it, and we're done. Maybe a little Howard's Restore finish, but I'm not going to be sanding and clear coating or touching anything, or we're spraying the old finish now. And that's the advantage of having doors. Yeah, it adds weight. You got to have the room to swing them around. A lot of people don't really like that, but because this was protected by closed doors all these years, it's pristine inside, and there's some really nice veneer on the front. Sometimes they used fake wood on the fronts of these, but no, that's real veneer. That is some really nice flame crotch, exotic mahogany book matched veneer. Those are sweet doors. Handles, kind of plain. I don't know why they went something kind of pedestrian for that, and really well made. Really well made. And it's like, look at that grill cloth. It's like brand new. So, be looking forward, or I should say, I'm looking forward to working on it. You look for the next installment of this, which will probably be after the convention, maybe in 5 weeks or so. Oh, that's it for now. Oh yeah, the model, it's a Stratosphere, just remembered. This is the, so they all, most of them had goofy names. So I have, in the past I've had a Graymere, a Monroe, an Aldrich. This is the Stratosphere. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.